Hello and welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shanté R, Roddy, your host. We're so glad to have you here. Wherever you're tuning in from, come on in, get to know us, right? Come get some of these great nuggets that we're here to share with you today. If you don't know, if you haven't heard, I am hosting our series on Dominate the Decade, the significance of women in business, right? And so I'm bringing on other powerhouse ladies that are real game changers to talk to you about how we are going to dominate in this decade as women, because there's just a lot for us to do and a lot for us to get accomplished, and they're going to help us do it. So we have our brand new guest today. Her name is Precious Williams. If you haven't heard of her, you're going to want to hear from her and connect with her after this broadcast, okay? So Precious Williams, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
You're welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Girl, we're about to make some magic together. Let's do it.
Absolutely. So can we start by just letting the audience know who you are, right, and what you do?
Yes, my name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. I'm also a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, #Killerpitchmaster, a serial entrepreneur, and an international professional speaker. What I do with Perfect Pitches by Precious is I teach women entrepreneurs and speakers, C-suite executives, sales teams at Fortune 100 companies, how to really pitch their brands, speak well, teach you about speaking well publicly and branding and just getting out there. And I'm also the author of the #1 bestseller, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. That's me.
I love it. And I'm so glad that you're here with us, because I feel that it is so important for us as women to learn how to pitch ourselves, to pitch our businesses. And I don't know about you, but I find that is a big challenge with women. And I just feel like in this decade, it's important for us to be able to pitch ourselves, to be able to get out there, like you said, put ourselves out there. So from your perspective as the pitching guru, how significant do you think it is for women to be able to pitch themselves to dominate in this decade?
Well, for real, for women that dominate in this decade, you really need to know how to pitch or work with a pitch coach who can help you. Let me tell you something. A lot of women are afraid that they don't look a certain way, they don't talk a certain way, they don't act a certain way, that no one's going to pay them any attention. And that was one of the things that I had to get over. When I had to pitch my first company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, I was 327 pounds. So what do you think most people told me? You're too fat, you're too black, da-da-da-da. It's never going to work. You don't have an Ivy League degree. You are a former attorney, but you don't have an Ivy League degree. No one's ever going to pay you any attention. You don't know anybody in Hollywood. You don't da-da-da-da. And I just didn't believe it. I did not believe it. And I had to listen to the God in me. And the God in me said, you have to listen to me. And you're going to pitch on live television, and they're not going to believe it. And so when I finally to get before the producers at MSNBC, my first pitch, elevator pitch ever in life, and I'm pitching to the producers at MSNBC, however I got there is however I got there. And to pitch on Your Business with JJ Ramberg at 327 pounds, pitching Curvy Girls Lingerie. And then I walked in with negative $400 in my bank account. And I freaked it to $500,000. Still at 327 pounds and a size 28, no Ivy League having degree or anything like that. Pitching is a part of life. When you're talking to your girlfriend about that no good dude, when you're talking about raggedy kids, when you're talking about you're pitching, you're getting someone interested in what it is you're talking about and wanting to continue to have a conversation with you about it. So pitching is really a part of life. But when you're pitching your business, your brand, your book, your products and services, it's very important that you know you're different and to be able to qualify and quantify what that difference really is.
Yes, that's good. And so what would you say is like one tip or strategy that you would give for women around pitching, or to how to become better at pitching their business to be significant?
I would say there's actually two things I would say you definitely want to have. The first thing is you want to be able to tell a great story. No matter how short of a time you have or how long of a time you have. You want to tell a story that's emotionally relatable to other people. When I started Curvy Girls Lingerie, Again, 327 pounds, but most women aren't what you see in Cosmo. I'm from the Midwest, from St. Louis, Missouri. They're growing bigger. I'm not saying they're big. I'm just saying they're growing bigger. Mm-hmm. And so if these women don't have access to sexy, stylish, and fashion-forward lingerie, what are you really saying? They don't matter. And I'm saying that they do. And it didn't matter that I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor at the time. Nobody cared about that. Everyone kept telling me no one cares about what big women wear. And I'm like, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. This is a market that you're not paying attention to. And once I started speaking to women and doing the research and going into Agent Provocateur, Macy's, Journal, Wolf, or Victoria's Secret, and I realized, oh my goodness, this is bigger than even I thought. And I live in New York City. This is supposed to be one of the fashion capitals. There's nothing. So I wanted to create something that celebrated the beauty of curvy women. And I had to fight against people always telling me that they didn't matter. And the greatest thing is when you can see something that no one else can see, and you can talk about it. And people who couldn't see it before are like, oh, why did we never think about that? And to get investors to see, oh my goodness, there's not only is there money to be made, there's actually a story for women to see themselves as something they never thought they could before. Number two, you have to have the confidence to pull it off. If I walked in and just said, well, you know, big girls need love too, and I think you should invest in my company, because no. But if I walk in and I go in and I do it with a rock star confidence, you're with me. Because I'm not one of those I'm not a scared, full-figured diva. I'm a real woman, and I want you to hear me roar. And I'm roaring for all the other women behind me who didn't have this option before. So when you see a gap in the marketplace, exploit it, but be able to talk about it, tell an emotionally compelling story, and do it with confidence, because there are too many people who are trying to knock you off your game because they know they can, for most people. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to dominate the decade, you're going to dominate. They're not going to dominate you.
That is so good. Oh my God. Look, we're real women, and we're real
I thought you knew. What?
Okay. And what? you have to come with that confidence, like you said, that rock star confidence. And you actually said the lead into what my next question was going to be, because I think having confidence is so important for women, and so many of us lack that. And when you're trying to show up and you go in and you're trying to pitch your business and you don't have that confidence, like you said, people sense that. That really comes
a mile away. They sense it a mile away.
And that's all. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they sense it a mile away. That's why another thing that I tell when I'm speaking internationally, nationally, locally, your perceived flaws are your secret weapon. Did you hear what I said? Your perceived flaws. Age, race, class, sex, all of that. Those are perceived flaws. Those are not actual flaws. Those are actually your secret weapon, because they never see you coming. How many of us have walked in situations where people act like we don't exist? And then when you open your mouth and you demand to be seen, how the world changes. It's a very different scenario. I'm a 13-time champion, national champion. And so I've been on stages with people who've gone to the greatest schools in the world, international companies, cool tech companies. And when I walked in with my big bodied self at 327, I walked in trying to be the cutest, but also at the same time, when I open my mouth, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to shut it down. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many millions you think you're going to make. I'm going to shut it down, because I'm the best in the world at what I do. And you have to really think that way. You really have to think that way. And you also have to embrace your difference. If one thing you know about me, don't I change my hair every day? Mm-hmm. Every day. Because I think being different should be embraced.
Yes.
It should be embraced more than it is. But then I have to thank God that it isn't, because if everybody was different as a word wouldn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. So ladies, don't be afraid to be different.
Please don't.
That's your unique selling proposition, is what makes you different from everyone else, right?
Yes.
And I think
talk about it.
Yeah. And I think so many times people want to be like everybody else, but again, that doesn't make you different. That doesn't help you stand out, right, in a pack or a sea of so many other people that may be doing what you do or what you're trying to do. And it's not that there's not room for you in the market. It's how do you set yourself apart, right?
You're so right. That's why when I see your social media posts, I love it because they're engaging. I love it because you ask questions. I love it because you really you really have your fingers to the pulse of what's happening, and you're really involved in your network. And if you think nobody's watching, I'm here to tell you, I do. I'll watch.
Oh, that's great.
I'm a pitch master. I see who's different and who's not.
Yes, that's
Or
really
Cardi B says, only the real can relate.
only the real can
Only the
relate.
real can relate.
Yes, absolutely. And so you talked about rockstar confidence. I really want to talk about that and get from your perspective how significant confidence is for women
I think
to dominate.
so. For women to truly dominate this decade, the reason why I call it hashtag rockstar confidence is because you ever seen a rock star?
Mm-hmm.
Are they the cutest things? Not usually.
Mm-hmm.
But the panties still be thrown on stage. Panties still be, I'll catch you outside. Have you seen what that dude look? Okay, you know what? Rockstar confidence. You know what? They're so confident in what they do. They're so confident in what they bring to the table. That is sexy. It's attractive. When you think about that, everything you do has a purpose. From the way you wear your hair to what you post on social media to being strategic in all that you do, that takes confidence. And I don't know about you, a lot of women of color have had to put on that armor. Like before you even leave the house, oh, you know what? I gotta put on that armor. I gotta put on that confidence because they're gonna knock me. They're gonna try to knock me down each and every time. And I've got to believe in myself because this world is going to keep telling me that I should fit into this box and this box and this box. And, I know like you, we grew up with, think outside the box. I'm not even trying to see a box. I can't think outside of a box if I don't even see the box. I just don't. When I see people who want to be like everybody else, that's because you don't have the confidence to step out on your own and do it. And let's be clear, being an entrepreneur is not easy. I don't care what you see from Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. It is not easy. You don't know the kind of decisions we make. You have no idea. And even if you read Inc. Entrepreneur and Fast Company or Forbes magazine, there's still things you will never understand until you are an entrepreneur. And if you don't have the confidence in yourself that even if I make a mistake, I can recover. I was on the phone with my girl Sankeetha. She's an attorney out in Boston, and she says they can't fire us, Precious. They can't fire us. Only we can fire us. Only we give up. And if we give up, then other women are going to give up. So we're not going to give up.
That's right.
Not today, not tomorrow, not yesterday. We're not going to give up. And that's rockstar confidence. I'm going to go hard. And as I tell everybody, you either going to roll with me or you're going to fold. I'm going to roll. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll.
Yeah. I love it. And that's how we have to be. And you're so
what?
right.
What?
Yes. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know you are the best, right?
Have to know.
You have to show up. You have to know you are the best, no matter what other people tell you, because they're gonna tell you you're not. But
can I just say one other thing to address an issue that does not get talked about? But let's really, you want to dominate the decade? Let me tell you something that I really help you dominate the decade, because I know she gonna bring it. I just want to bring it to the fore now. You know how I said there are people who, they don't believe in you? Mm-hmm. What about the gatekeepers of certain groups that if you don't fall in line, you don't, like when I was coming up in the game as an entrepreneur the first time, I really believed that I had to be a part of this group and that group and that group and that group. But there were people that I saw doing things that I didn't want to do.
Right.
And I truly believed, and maybe it's because I got a stick in my craw. Maybe it's because the way God made me defiant. And I think that's what he made me, defiant in certain ways. I'm going to make it with or without you. And so I took a step back and people were like, man, you need to roll with that person. You need to roll with that person. And I was like, nah. And when I tell you the most beautiful thing has been happening over the last few days, people have been calling who didn't call me before when I was going through my trauma, drama, and stress. When I lost everything, people laughed. Oh, she should stay with us. She did. But today, the conversation is very different. How did you get in the InStyle magazine? How did you start speaking there? Who did you have to go through to get there? And I'm thinking, I didn't have to go through you. I didn't have to go through that person. God gave me a gift, and that gift will make room for me, just like it's making room for you, sister. Just like you're making room for all of us to show how to dominate the decade. No one has a key to your destiny but God and you. And all these other people, they may seem like they got it. So I say comparison is a thief of joy. You keep going on the path that you're supposed to be on and the purpose that you're supposed to be on. And your doubters will become believers. And if you don't believe me, I wish I could show you who's in my phone today that you'd be shocked by. Like, oh yeah, they call. Oh, I saw you popping on social media. Okay. So how you, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. I just listen to the one who created me. And that when we say these gatekeepers, you have to find the tribe that truly fits your vibe and rolls with you. That's why I rocks with you.
Yes. I truly believe that.
There are people who were put on this earth to block. I get it. There's some people who are blockers because your shine throws too much shade their way. You're not trying to shade them. You're just shining in your own time. Looking to see how you got there. And I'm like, listen, if you want my shine, you got to take every part of the shine. You got to take every part of my journey, every part of my testimony, because you won't get that test. And I don't know if you can handle what I went through to get here. And that's when you dominate the decade. You embrace that authenticity and that transparency and be like, yeah, I was homeless. Yeah, I was an addict. I was an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on the streets. Yeah, I did all that. And I'm right where I am today because I've been through it. And I can tell other women, don't give up. Because when I almost gave up, God didn't give up on me. He gave me a second chance. And so everything that I do today, every place that I get today, every studio that I'm in, every stage that I rock across, I'm ever so grateful because I know that that's where I'm supposed to be. He made sure that second chance I wasn't going to play with the second chance. And I don't listen to gatekeepers. I look to women like you who are making a way for other women like me to know that there is love and there's support and there's honor and there's all of these things. If it wasn't for women like you, we'd kind of messed up in the game.
Yes. I believe that it's important for us as women to work together, to build strong alliances, to be a support system for each other. Yes. And I said this before we even got to 2020 because I really believe it. If we're really going to move to our next level of greatness and to really dominate in this decade, like the Lord told me that we're going to as women, that we must do it together. You have mentioned that there are no boxes. There are no boxes. There are no limits. We are so powerful, right, as individual women. So how much more powerful are we if we're working together? How much more powerful? How much more can we do? How many more lives can we impact if we are working together? And so I wanted to get your perspective because again, there's that lead in, say we're like-minded. That's why it's important to get with other like-minded women, right? How significant do you think it is for women to build alliances with each other?
It is so important. Again, to go back to, if you want to dominate the decade, you can go far by yourself, but you can go even further together. You can go so much further when you have a crew and a team or just another woman. You can go so much further. I can't tell you how many women stepped up to the plate when I was struggling, when I was sitting up there homeless. All those women that came into the Bowery Mission Women's Center to bless me with a story, to bless me with the Bible, to bless me with makeup, to bless me with clothes, or to say to me, sister, there's something different about you. You're going to make it. And I'm thinking, really? No, you're going to make it. God told me to tell you that today. Told me to tell you, you're going to make it. I'm like, do you see where I am? I'm in the Bowery Mission Women's Center. Don't matter where you are today. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And so, in this age of COVID-19 and coronavirus, do you know how many more people are reaching out now? Not just for speaking engagements, but Precious, can you help me? Yes. Can you help me? Can you come speak at my thing? Can you do this? I don't even say no. I don't say no. Even as exhausted as I can be, I don't say no because we all know It's better to be working and grinding than to be chilling and doing nothing and watching cat videos.
Yes.
People need you now, not tomorrow. They need you now. If they need to hear your voice to know what's possible, that's what women are so good at. They're good at nurturing. They're good at hearing what you're saying and what you're not saying. They're good at hearing, like, you know what, I ain't talked to my girl in like 6 hours. I think something up. And I haven't called. Precious, what's up? Girl, it's 7:30. I'm in the bed. Yeah, you need some rest. You need some rest. I'm going to holler at you around 4 o'clock in the morning because I know what time you get up. What? Okay. But together, we are so much stronger at vision. I don't see competition. No one does what I do, just like no one does what you do. And the moment you take the blinders off and think, let's say somebody does SEO, somebody does websites, somebody does speaking, we all don't do it the same. That's why I say I'm not a motivational speaker, because that sounds like a dime a dozen. I'm the killer pitch master. When people are looking for elevator pitches, they're not looking for just a regular speaker. They're looking for a pitch master. So you got to be sure that you know your niche, and your niche within the industry, not just the industry, but your niche within the industry, and go with it. And I wouldn't be where I am today had it not been for MC Light and Robert Townsend. When I won the Black Enterprise Elevator Pitch Competition on May 16, 2013 in Columbus, Ohio, and they gave me the title Killer Pitch Master because you slay all competition. I ain't never forgot that. From that day to this one, I ain't never forgot that. 7 years ago. And I'm still the Killer Pitch Master. Thank you, MC Light.
That's amazing. And the fact that you can come back, and I think that's so important.
I tell you, pitching your... Go ahead, darling. I was listening to you.
Yes, and I think it's so important that, you know, once we arrived, right, or once we've achieved a certain level of success, that we don't forget those that have helped us along the way, right? Those that believed in us and appreciated us and gave us those words of encouragement, that shared those stories, that, you know, helped us out when we were in our time of need. And for us to also be able to pay that forward, right?
What? Yes, sister. Yes, dominate the decade.
Yes.
Somebody paid it to somebody helped you, you have to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Just like there's probably little girls watching you and little girls watching us right now, and maybe they're thinking, man, they seem old. Not really, but you know, but they're doing it.
Yes.
They're doing it. And you'd be surprised, and I know you know this, when you stay consistent, people notice. They may never say it to you until years from now. They'll be like, I've been watching you every day for 5 years, and you stayed thuggy. You stayed thuggy with it. You stayed who you were. You didn't change up because this person got big or this person got bigger. You just stayed doing you, and I rocks with that. Or as the young people say, I F's with that. I F's with that.
Yes, yes. And they really do. I've had
They
people
do.
come back to me like year, 2 years, 3 years, and express like that they have been watching me, or how I impacted their life in some way. So know that you're showing up matters, whether you think it does or not, whether you see it, whether somebody's liking your post or commenting or not. None of that really matters. Know that people, if you're showing up and you're consistent, people are taking notice, right?
They really, really are. And when you say like women together, I mean Black women, Latinx women, Asian women, white women. We can all go further together. I promise you, we can all go further together. It's like lifting as we climb.
Yes.
And, you know, I think about Danielle Hughes, who is the president of Master Network, New York City chapter. This woman has literally put me on stages I couldn't even believe. This woman has gotten me paid as an influencer. And I'm looking at her like, I'm an influencer? She's like, mm-hmm. I was like, wait a minute, no. And she looks nothing like me. She's a copywriter. Mm-hmm. You would think we're in competition. Not at all. She's like, I'm going to get it. You're an influencer, so I'm gonna get you a contract. to other women like, you know what, Precious? I know about this speaking engagement. I'm gonna hook you up. That cool. Yeah, that's real cool. That's real cool, chick. That's real cool. Okay, can I bring somebody with me because I want them to see this too, so they know what's possible? Okay. People have hooked me up in ways that you would never believe, and so I am thankful. I'm thankful for the time that I got to film this movie in Malibu, California, and I used to cry on the beach every day at 7 a.m. because it was 10 a.m. in New York, but at 7 a.m. in Cali, I would cry on the Santa Monica, the beach, and I would cry. And then we would drive up the Pacific Coast Highway into Malibu, and I would cry because I couldn't believe a woman saw something in me and got me there with a personal assistant and eating craft services like beef burgundy, the stuff I got to do just because I could speak. It's those things that kind of keep me up at night, because I know that if I didn't have this talent, and if another woman didn't see it or another man didn't see it, I would probably be in the projects in St. Louis with my 5th baby daddy and my 7th marriage. And you want to talk about somebody being upset at this time in the house with that?
Yes, yes. So that is the power of relationship, right?
Yes.
That's the power of connections.
Yes.
Ladies, definitely be on a mission, as I say, to build alliances, to build those connections, to build strong relationships, and to collaborate. You take opportunities to partner up on different initiatives, because there's just so much for us to get done, and we can do a lot more together and not exhaust ourselves, right? And we can all share in the wealth. And that's really what we want to do if we want to dominate in this decade. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I could talk forever on that, but I have, I think, 2 more questions for you.
I know. Okay. Break it down.
So the next question I have for you, or I would invite you to share with our audience, is maybe 1 or 2 things that you think is really significant for women to do if they want to dominate in this decade. So what would be 1 or 2 things like that we as women, we must do if we want to dominate?
Number 1, fortune favors the bold. Be bold. Be loud. Be unapologetically loud. Make them hate you. But when I tell you fortune favors the bold, fortune really favors the bold. So boldly go out there and go after your dreams. I know a lot of us are sitting in the house right now, but there's still some of us who are making these bold moves and these power moves. As Cardi B said, making these money moves. You got to do it boldly. You got to do it boldly. And don't expect for everybody to like you, because they're not. And be okay with that. Because when you make bold moves, you're going to invite haters. And haters are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to hate. If they don't hate, then you ain't doing much with your life. And as Cat Williams always says, you need to get like 14 more by the summer. Haters are supposed to hate. Get with the program. Number 2, this is like the companion piece, but I do, this used to be my motto maybe 2 or 3 years ago: go big or go home. Go big. If you have this big, hairy, audacious goal, this big vision, this is the time to start plotting and planning world domination. This is the time. You can put services together and products, but there's an ultimate goal. Like my ultimate goal is to be a internationally syndicated talk show host, and it's coming. Don't think I don't know. Oprah's gonna be my first guest. Don't believe me, just watch. Secondly, I want to have the Bad Bitches and Power Pitches tour live. It's a 3-day live experience around the world. Started by this female MacGyver of business, showing what's possible. And I'm in my 40s now. I'm supposed to be over the hill. I just got started. What's your favorite? The bold, go big or go home.
I love it. Go big or go home. Be bold. That's what You speaking my language. We have to.
Girl, yeah, game. First of all, game recognizes game.
Yes, yes.
Men say it all the time. I used to love when men say, man, game recognizes game. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Game recognizes game.
Yes, yes, yes. Be bold. Be bold.
Well, I have red hair when I had like blonde earlier.
Yes.
Listen, I had 4 outfit changes for television today, so it's all good.
Yes, yes. And I like how you said about be loud, right? It goes back to us using our voices.
Mm-hmm.
We deserve to be heard, right? Your voice is powerful. Your story is powerful. That's why we have this platform. That's why we spotlight women, allow you to use your voice and speak your mind, speak your heart, and share your stories here, because it is so powerful. It has the power to change a life, to change another woman's life, right? The woman that may have given up hope, and now she has faith. Now she's moving forward. Now she knows she can, if you overcame it, and we haven't even told our whole stories here, okay? If you just knew what we have been through in our lives, right? But if we were able to do it, if we were able to overcome, you can do the same, right? It doesn't matter what you did, what mistakes you made, what you went through. All of that was part of your story, was part of your journey to bring you to right here where you are today. Right here where you are today, right? And you're meant to be great. You're meant to be great. Okay, so my last question that I have for you, Precious, is that what significant impact would you hope to make in this decade?
To dominate this decade and to have the most significant impact. I wrote a poem, my obituary. And it really was to take every woman by the hand and dance her into the eternity of her life. It's to really help a woman soar beyond her wildest dreams in business, in life, in relationships, and to show her that dash between the day you began and the day you end, there's so much you can do in that time. And you can make it count. And it does not matter what you've gone through. Doesn't matter. I think about my mom who tried to murder me on November 18th, 1991. And I think about when I tried to take my life on January 22nd, 2017. That wasn't a good enough dash. I hadn't done enough. So this dash is for every woman. The dash I have now is for every woman. That when she hears my story and she sees the sincerity in my eyes, and that when she hears the authenticity and the transparency, I'm not here to pretend I'm perfect. I'm imperfectly perfect, and I'm beautifully flawed. And just like you, and you can do it too. And if you think for a second we haven't been through something, that's a lie. Probably been through more than you've ever believed, but that only shows you that when I show you my true flaws, you know what's possible. So my dash has to mean something now. It didn't mean anything years ago, but it means the life I was given back on January 22nd, 2017, and it is now March 25th, whatever day it is today. This has to matter now for every woman and every little girl who's ever been told she wasn't nothing, she would never be anything, she would never. I hope that you can look at my story and know that nothing is impossible and nothing is out of reach. And if you don't dream big, you're not really living that dash.
If you don't dream big, you're not living that dash. You have to dream big, ladies. That was so powerful. I felt that, like in my spirit. And that is amazing, because that's what I want for women, like all over the world, for us to live our biggest dreams, our wildest dreams, right? That we have ever had for ourselves. We haven't even dreamed big enough. A lot of us, but the life that we have in front of us to live is so big. I don't want any limits on us to be able to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish in life. You were born, you are here for a reason, for a purpose, if you're living, and there is so much for you to do. So if anything has shown us with this coronavirus that we have in this pandemic and a global pandemic, is that we should not be wasting time.
You ain't never lied.
Time is precious.
Time is precious. And think about our grandmothers and our mothers who couldn't live their dreams.
Yes.
Who could, when I say could not live their dreams, as Lamar Tyler and his wife Ronnie says, we are what our ancestors hoped for. We are what they fought for. So you have to, I'm getting emotional now because I think about my grandmother who gave everything to make sure I have the life I have today. And every day I honor that woman because she didn't get to, she had 8th grade education, 7 kids. I have no kids and all the education in the world. I'm going to honor her to the day I die. I am what she hoped for, and she is everything I ever wanted in a mom.
That is amazing. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So we thank you so much, Precious, for being on here with us, for sharing your words of wisdom, for sharing your story. You've dropped so many gems for us today. I know the audience is going to get so much benefit from just hearing this conversation that's just been so powerful, and knowing that they can take the lessons, the information that they've received here, and use it to really show up and dominate in this decade. So can you tell our audience where they can connect with you if they want to learn more about you?
Yes. My company is Perfect Pitches by Precious, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. My email address is precious@perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. On Twitter, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. And on Instagram, I'm Perfect Pitches P. And on LinkedIn, I'm Precious Williams, Killerpitchmaster. You can go on Amazon and get my book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. I promise you there's only one Precious Williams who's written that book. I promise you. Yeah. And, just check out the website and just know I'm here for you. And I've had such a great time with you showing other women how to dominate the decade.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, so definitely pick up her book. We'll definitely make sure we leave access to her contact information here in the comments for you, so you can always feel free to connect with her. Definitely every woman needs to learn how to pitch herself and pitch her business. So this is the lady that you want to connect with if you want to learn anything about pitching, right? Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. Again, you have been tuning in to She Boss Talk. We so appreciate you being here. Boom. Yes, we would love for you to be a guest. We would love to have you on. We would love to be able to spotlight you in some way if you're a woman in business. That's why we are here. That's why we have this platform. If you would like to be a guest on our show, we invite you to visit us at www.shebosstalk.com. You can find us across social media at She Boss Talk. We try to keep it simple, but definitely visit us on our Facebook page. That's where we have our live show. We have a lot of content there to really help you in life and in business. If you're trying to reach your next level of success, there's so much valuable information there from past guests that I'm sure that you would appreciate. So until our next show, we just wish you continued success, wish that you and your family be safe and in good health, and be the boss with amplified impact, and commit and dedicate to dominating the decade. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye.